Hey guys, I wanted to pop on here before I started this layout to kind of explain how I created these cut files. So my friend Jen was scrapbooking here and she had this stamp set, which was, let me get it in a good place. This little girl with the apron and then this little bowl and a whisk. So this bowl, what I did was I scanned it just using a scanning phone app on my phone, and I turned it into a PNG on my computer, and then I traced it and cut it on my Silhouette. And this is what, let me show you on this one. This is what I ended up with for a cut file. So I'm going to be using the Paige Evans Horizon collection, and for the papers, I'm not sure how many of the embellishments I'll use, and I'm going to be scrapping this photo from when I was a child. I think I was 10 years old here. And yeah, so I wanted to just kind of talk you through how I made the cut file, and I will go ahead and put you on fast forward. Hello guys, it's Tisa, and I am back with a layout for Spiegelmomscraps, and I'm scrapping a photo, as you saw earlier, of myself, and it's kind of a funny story. I think I was 9 or 10, and my mom let me make brownies all by myself, and I read the instructions, and I got the brownies done, or, you know, ready to go in the oven, and then I yelled into the other room, "Mom, how do I get this off of my hands?" And she came in, and here I had brownie batter all over my hands, because on the directions on the brownie box, it says mix by hand. So yes, I apparently took those directions extremely literally. So as I explained before, I did use, I made my own cut file, and if you have any questions about doing that, leave them in the comments below and I can try to give you more information. But I wanted a Pyrex bowl, because that was kind of back in, you know, the 70s, 80s, and those are the bowls that my mom had, and those are the bowls that I used to make my brownies. So I'm using the Paige Evans, oh my goodness, Horizon collection. And I wanted to use this diagonal stripe as my background and kind of tilt my paper on it, my white background paper on an angle. I added my sequins off camera because it took me a little bit of time. But what I did was I used some coordinating sequins with the colors of the bowls. And I found those sequins, many of them in the Summer Feelin' mix. And then I did pull the little yellow flowers and the teal type color out of an older mix called Jaded Hearts. And I love how that turned out. There was really 3 different types of sequins. One was almost like a hard epoxy heart. One was a little flower, and then the other 2 were regular sequins. So I stacked up those bowls and just kind of cattywampus. And you see, I wanted to make a ledge for my photo, and I did that with one of the papers from the collection. And when I put it there, it just seemed like it wasn't grounded enough. So I ended up adding the navy blue small strip behind that pattern paper just to ground that area a little bit more. So I was then just working on my embellishments and kind of what I was going to be doing there. And that's typically what I do in my layouts, is I'll lay everything down where I want it, make sure I like it, and then I'll pull it all off and put it back on, essentially. What you will see later on is, I don't know what happened, if my camera stopped filming or what it was, but I added some navy blue pen lines around the white pattern paper just to give that kind of more presence on the page. And I really love how that worked out. I was considering stitching, but I had already had, when I thought about adding the pen, I had already had all my bowls adhered, and I just didn't want to have to mess with trying to stitch around those because there was so much dimension on those. So I'm layering up my papers again, and this one was so much fun, you guys, because it was kind of themey in a way, and I don't do a whole lot of themed layouts. I don't think I do. Maybe I do. You'll have to let me know. Do I do themed layouts? Because I don't know. But I went through a bunch of collections, a Jen Hadfield collection, a Echo Park, I think it was like Mom Life or something. And the Echo Park collection, I found so many stickers, like of a stove, of the mixer, of the oven mitts. And then I found like Pyrex bowls from the Jen Hadfield collection. And then I used some items from the, oh my goodness, Horizon collection as well, like the floral pieces. And the, you'll see there's some sticker and puffy sticker words that I'm going to lay down on the bottom right hand corner of my layout. I absolutely love this layout. I love the story behind it, and I'm so grateful that, you know, back in the day when we didn't have cell phones, that my mom thought of grabbing the camera and taking this picture, because it just cracks me up. And I'm glad that my kids get to see it, and, you know, now someday my grandkids will get to see it, and so on and so on. So, I'm sorry it's taken me a bit longer. I probably could have cut some of this out, but I'm just trying to stack up those bowls the way I want to and get them glued down. And now it's going to go pretty quickly from here because I do know what I'm going to be doing. So I layered up my photo first with some white cardstock because the photo is really dark. So I wanted to layer it with some lighter colored cardstocks, but then to have it stand out on that white paper, I added the navy blue cardstock to the back. And I did not add any dimension on this photo. I just felt like I just didn't feel like it was necessary to add the dimension. And when I'm going to put the photo down, like I said, I'm going to rest it on that little ledge that I've got there. And I'm going to work on my title, which is going to be to the right-hand side of the photo. I was trying to decide, do I want to tilt the photo? Do I want it on there straight? And I ended up, well, I attempted to put it on there straight, but now looking at it, it might be tilted just a little bit. I am not a perfectionist when it comes to getting things straight on layouts, and but it doesn't bother me. So it's a little bit crooked, but that's okay. So I'm going to work on my title, and or maybe I'm laying out, no, right now I'm just kind of putting together some of those embellishments. So I'm layering up the stove sticker with a floral, and it was important to me, since I had a floral up in the upper left hand corner, that I made sure that there were other florals throughout the page. And essentially I only have 2 clusters here, but I did use some clear floral stickers from the Jen Hadfield collection and kind of sprinkled those among the bowls as well. And I like how that turned out. So I wanted to make sure I had florals at least in two other areas, and that, you know, I kind of had some baking type items in both of those areas as well. I'm also going to make sure I have like a puffy heart, and I just try to make sure that everything's kind of evenly distributed throughout the layout so that your eye doesn't stay on one place for very long, except for the photo, of course. I went through oh my goodness, a bunch of thickers. And I love these Pink Fresh Studio stickers, or thickers. They're puffy thicker. And I was going crazy because I wanted to spell out stir. And originally I was trying to do a different color, I think. And of course I had 3 letters, but then the R was not in the right color. So I ended up being able to find all 4 letters in the light blue. And then I'm going to use these little Pink Fresh puffy stickers in the green to spell buy. And then I'm going to pull in some of the Paige Evans small navy foam stickers for hand. So stir by hand. And I just, that pretty much says it all. Now I will end up doing some journaling, probably either below the photo or above the photo. I guess I could put it there too, but most likely below the photo I'll end up doing some journaling strips. But I typically kind of stack my layouts up and then try to journal on them before I put them in my layout. What you are not going to see here either, but you will see in the screenshots, is after I had gotten this layout completely finished, I had gone to Michael's, and in their clearance section, believe it or not, they had some small wood veneer, like a whisk, a spoon, and spatula, some like utensils. I was like, how perfect is that? So I tied a little bow around the wooden spoon with just some embroidery floss, and I'm going to kind of work that into the embellishment to the bottom right. And like I said, you will see that in the close-ups because unfortunately I don't know, my camera stopped recording. And then I added the whisk to the top left corner and kind of tucked it under the sticker that I have of the mixer. And I think that just totally, in my opinion, made the page. Those wood veneer pieces were just meant for me to find in Michael's that day. I do also add some additional sequins that unfortunately you will not see on camera, but I'm just going to scatter some of the sequins that I used on the bowls on the right hand side of the layout around the title and then around the word stickers that are below. And I think I ended up adding a few more. Oh, no, this is what I'm doing here. I thought it would be fun to see what would happen if I used my Nuvo drops and filled in the flowers of that cut file, and I love how it worked out. So here's my close-ups. I hope you enjoyed the process. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. Definitely hit that subscribe button if you're not already subscribed. And here is my code TISA15 for 15% off at the Spiegelmomscraps shop, and I will have the link below. Thanks guys, bye.